Cool. So Samantha, everything has been set up for you. So whenever you're ready, please, at your own time, take it away.
Okay, thank you so much, Lauren, as lovely as always. Hi, everyone. My name is Samantha, and it's my pleasure to be invited today to moderate and kickstart our first week of Marketing Fest. We will be talking to our panelists today on how you can start and figure out the most suitable online advertising strategies for your business. And to set your expectation right, we will be having a light, casual chat with all our panelists today. And we have three wonderful panelists with us. And before we say hi to them, let me do a quick shout out to all our audience. As I understand from the team that we have quite a number of business consultants, management, and as well as those that are already in marketing and advertising field. Feel free to ask our panelists a burning question by dropping them in the Q&A section. And it will be really helpful to me to pick up your question by keeping them simple and short. I will address them along the way. Also, do share with us what are you looking to learn and gain from this 1 hour session with us today by putting them in the chat room. Now, let's keep our ball rolling by doing some self-introduction. I am sure that our audience would love to know each of you. Weng, would you like to go first, then followed by Ivan and Vickson?
Sure, Samantha. Thank you. So, hi everyone, I'm Weng, the Head of Marketing for iCar Asia. For everyone who doesn't know iCar Asia here, we are actually the parent company of the automotive portal Carlist.my that is operating in Malaysia. Our company is also present in Indonesia and Thailand as well, having mobil123.com in Indonesia as well as 12car.com in Thailand itself. So I think I've already spent about 8 years plus with iCar Asia since they are a startup. Mainly iCar Asia wasn't even around yet. From startup, from the acquisition by iCar, from IPO with Australian Stock Exchange. And I spent a short time with Grab as well, I think somewhere in the mid of 2015. And yeah, I think that's about it from my side.
Right, Ivan, you want to go next?
Yes, so my name is Evan, and at the moment I'm the taking care of brands and marketing at Astro. I do think that none of you knows Astro, I think, and I'm not coming from those cable TV, or I'm not coming from those Korean boy bands. So Astro is a new quick commerce, and I think we are the first one in Southeast Asia. Now we are in Indonesia. Hopefully we can be in Malaysia, and we can be in Singapore in the next few years. So we are the online supermarket. We sell a lot of things, and we deliver to your doorstep within 15 minutes. So I think a little bit about me. Prior to being in Astro, I was with education, I was with retail, I was with OTA. So I have diverse backgrounds in marketing. So I think when we're gonna talk about online ads, it makes more sense. I think that's about me, Samantha.
Right, next, Vickson.
Hi everyone. Vickson here. Of course, I believe that everyone already know who are Exabytes here, and yeah, we are the Malaysia's web hosting, domain names, and server VPS company. And not just that, we are definitely selling those kind of like digital solutions, okay, and to trading solutions like Alibaba and so on. So I'm Vickson here and been working for Exabytes about the 12 to 13 years, okay. And my journey is about I started as a designer and learning about the web and as well as the digital marketing. And currently my team is about the helping, Exabytes internally for, websites, ads and so on. Yep.
All right, awesome. Diving into our topic for today, right? Online advertising. Today's topic is very much relevant to me as I am leading the Google Business Group, GBG chapter in Penang. But I am sure there are so much more than, just Facebook and Google alone. My question to kickstart our session for today is that what are some of the interesting strategies, practices from each of you? Any of you would like to take this question first?
Can I go first? Okay, just the questions here towards everyone here today. How many of you are actually already having your own, running online advertisings? Maybe you can put 1 if yes, put no if no, put 2 is no. Okay, yep. We can see quite a lot of you guys putting 1, which means that you guys are actually running. So the strategies here is how to say, if you guys still think of the online advertising is just about the Facebook and Google, then probably it's a time for you to explore further. So what we are trying to say here is the online advertising nowadays is not just limited towards that 2 platform, but if you guys like trying to key to explore, that will be based on your audience demand. So it is kind of like you have to understand your audience base, who are they, and where is the platform they are mostly having in. So such as like if you're targeting like teenagers, for example, from my own point of view, okay, those teenagers probably like 20 and below, they are probably mostly in Instagram, but not Facebook. To be honest, I have my 2 kids here and they don't have Facebook because they don't play Facebook, but they play Instagram, they play TikTok, right? So if you're selling those kind of like towards that range, that age range of the kids, then probably you're not able to reach them by just targeting through even Google or Facebook. Yeah, and mostly of them are actually in YouTube. So probably YouTube, there will be another channels to actually to put it on to advertise and to target them. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Probably we can hear about Weng or even.
Yep. I'll probably go next. I do agree with what Vickson has actually shared just now. I mean, not only to understand the audience behind every platform. I mean, majority we can roughly know which platform are actually strong with which kind of target audience and all. But I think what I want to share is also we need to understand our brand image really well. Like what kind of brand tone are we trying to portray here to actually to market your brand, product or services to the mass market or even your niche market? For example, like if you are a strong, like a corporation with a really firm, a very serious tone, then only certain platforms might only suit you to actually to reach out to your target audience. But I think a lot of startups or SMEs nowadays are pretty bold, I would say, to be able to actually to take certain risks to actually to make your brand to be a bit on the fun side, the humor side, or even that you're actually pretty daring to provide certain content from a certain angle to reach out to the audience and really have that impactful results, or even like what we said, have that viral factor to be able to actually to widespread to even more audience to carry out your brand there.
Yeah, can I add something to that just right before we move on? I think what Vickson has said just now, understanding the platform and from Weng understanding your audience is very much important, because at the end of the day, you are serving those ads to those that who potentially from turning from leads to sales. So understanding your platform, number one, is very true. Understanding your audience, where are they coming from, is also very relevant. What about Evan? You have anything to add on that?
Yes, I think there is the third point that is quite pivotal in my opinion. Understanding what your business is all about, because sometimes like when we talk about online ads, the human mindset of ours will definitely go directly to Facebook and Google, right? However, in my opinion, don't get me wrong, I don't hate Facebook and Google. How come I hate them? But then these two channels are really the world's most generic platforms. Hence, people always think that, again, quoting what Vickson said, like, people always think that everyone is on Facebook, everyone is on Google. However, you might want to think from the other perspective. Don't think about where your audience are, where your audience will be, but then what kind of business you are in, whether you're selling things on your platform, whether you're selling things to your to some marketplaces, or whether you're selling things from the mobile app. So I think that's where you should start, instead of looking at what kind of channels that you should go in, but then where exactly, where does my money come from, in a way, things like that.
Yes, absolutely. I absolutely echo with Ivan, because understanding your product and services is helping you to determine the platform and the audience as well. We have one question from the floor, whether asking we will be talking about knowledge of, networking marketing. Stay tuned with us. I will address this question again. So along the way, right, I understand that there must be some really, great challenges when it comes to online advertising. Maybe our panelists today can share with us what are those, challenges, other than, meeting maybe client who might not really understand online advertising, or maybe their expectation is not, is not there. Maybe you can share with us.
Okay, I share those what I've seen here. Okay, I believe that everyone is seeing Secret Labs ads. Okay, if you see Secret Labs ads, right? So please type one in the chat room. I believe everyone, most of you guys here know what is Secret Lab, right? I'm
Yes,
not the owner,
do.
or I don't own any Secret Lab share or whatever. Okay, so how many of you has been actually poisoned and already decided to buy it, or already bought it? You may, type 3 if you already bought it. Okay, see quite some
That's
numbers
quite a
of
number
you.
there, yeah.
Yeah, at least we can see 2 here. And do you guys really go and explore how actually Secret Labs is actually running the ads? So basically, their strategies is about the brand. So you buy Secret Labs is because of the currently these situations, everyone is staying home. So you need a very good chairs, but they are not taking to you like, this chair can solve your backbone issue. If you have a backbone pain, then you can buy this. It's not like a branding as a medical chair, but it brands like, you must have this chair, and you feel like a very proud with it and a very comfortable, and it is a very quality type of the chairs. And even if you are the people that are playing as a gamers or as a YouTubers, people will seeing that Secret Labs logos behind you, and you will feel very like, wow,
Right.
because I'm using these chairs, I'm a professional, I'm an expert, so it will up another level of your identity. Yep. So there is somehow how Secret Lab is always like, they don't do offer, and they do benefit selling, and they do some kind like a very stylish kind of ads. So they have quite a numbers of different ads content that try to deliver to you. Something like every single person will see like 1 or 2 times. Then after that, it will change. 1 or 2 times again, it will change. It keep on just brainwash. I would say that this kind of ads is about the brainwashing you until you being, being poisoned, and end up you will choose the best instead of like you keep on comparing, but you're seeing Secret always. Then okay lah. Since we buy only one, let's go ahead with that. So yeah, that is somehow a very good case study that in my mind that we are able to refer with and to find out.
Okay, maybe Weng, you have something to share with us on, the greatest challenge that you, iCar have faced so far, and the case study of it. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Samantha. There's too many that I would say when it comes to challenges, when it comes to online advertising strategies, but mainly I would probably just talk around the three that I can think of now. As a marketer, we'll always be faced with challenges, but these three, it's like a daily ongoing battle, which is targeting, budget, and optimization. Pretty sure everyone that is familiar with the digital world of advertising always have this challenge to overcome, whereby when you want your advertisements to only to reach out to certain people, yes, nowadays we have a lot of tools, we have a lot of platforms that provide all this customization option for you to reach out to a certain pool of audience and whatnot. But at the end of the day, you would still ask, am I reaching out to the right people? Are these my right demographic? Are these the right geographic people that I should be targeting? That's one. Budget, of course. I believe a lot of companies out here, a lot of people out here would always be faced with budget issues, especially during this pandemic time where a lot of economic activities are affected. So what I would want to say is it would be an interesting challenge for every marketer to have this budget thing. Not everyone is well equipped with a heavy amount of cash in their banks to just go out, reach, like throw money to all the big platforms, get your ads out there. But that's not really the beauty of marketing, I would say. You always have to make sure every cent counts, every money that you're putting into your campaigns are actually making sense, which optimization comes in place. When we spend money on digital ads, when we spend money on getting people to create content with us, we always have to understand like how much in terms of value are all this money that we're putting in making sense and getting back our return, ROI, I mean. Yeah. So I think that's what my daily struggles are, to able to understand, to continue the optimization work of all these three aspects when it comes to online marketing.
Right.
Yeah. Samantha, I see some of the chat here. I'm not sure whether in our discussions we can like in the same times we answering their questions when we are communicating. I saw one of the chat in mentioning about ROAS. So I believe some of you guys already know what is ROAS about and how we can actually calculate it. So basically in Exabytes, we always judge by 10. Above 10 considered as a good rate for ROAS, which means that we pay 1, we get 10. So this is quite depends on which industry you are in, and you need to factor in about when you are, okay, let's say we say Facebook. So you're targeting about you invest thousands in the ads to get leads. And it depends on how many leads they can get. Probably that one lead is about cost you one RM. Then probably that leads is quality or not. So you might need to calculate on that. So it depends on the different industries. So for mine, it's about 1 to 10. And yeah, and just think about the just now got mentioned about about the not just like putting a single cent in the ads, right? So basically, right, when you're running ads, but in the same times, basically like through your social medias or in your Instagrams, you have to be like set to a similar kind of same topics probably in your Facebook, and even like communicate with your partners or if your KOL influencers to talk about the same topic instead. So it's not like you do it on yourself and you talk about this topic on your own, but then others like running on, towards your similar products, but it's not taking the same things. Like for example, back to Secret Lab again, they are talking about 2022 kind of a level of the chair. But if you imagine that the others reviewer, they are talking about 2021, which is like not synced at all. So it will be making sure that every single reviewer on this chair is about the new chairs, and we are talking the same topic, same quality. Yeah, that is like a one shot in together to create the booming kind of impact to everyone.
So you are saying we need to be a step ahead from our, those that in the same channel and same field?
Yeah. So probably you can just aim for future instead of like just targeting for now. Yeah.
Okay. What about Ivan? How do you really identify the right targeting for online advertising?
I think it's like chicken and egg in my opinion, because if we talk about right targeting, sometimes it depends on your brand. I mean, if you're working as from the brand perspective of like 100 years old, like Unilever or P&G, you definitely know who your target market is. However, sometimes as a marketer, you have this ego telling you that, hey, you know what, I can kind of build my own legacy and all that. So I think it's a bit hard. But then if you're working in let's say you build your own stuff, you build your startup, something like that, and then I think I'm not advising you to get carried away by telling yourself this kind of lie, saying that, hey, I know my target audience, I know my target market. I think if you want to launch something, you definitely create this persona. Hey, you know what? This is my target market. But then, is it or is it not? Because by the end of the day, you never know how the people will behave and how you can reach them. Even though you know by the book, let's say like Facebook for all people, Instagram for millennials, something like that. But then, well, is it? Not really. Depending on how you, I think it's the combination between knowing what your brain is strong on what you're selling, where you're selling, and then a combination with what Vickson has said earlier, like secret lab, that kind of thing. So it has so many parameters. So I think before we talk about the right audience, let's try to understand. Let's do a lot of tests. Let's do well. Actually, in terms of the world of online ads, it's quite easy, right? Whenever we say, let's say we spend $10 and then we only get $1 back, so it doesn't work. But then if we spend $10 and we get $10 back, is it not working? Well, yes, by the book, but then is it not? Because don't spend a lot in the very first time you do the online ad, so that you can tell that, okay, this is the time where we get traction, this is the time where we don't get the traction. So I think let's not try to, let's not try to hide between under the, okay, this is my target audience, this is where I should be. So let's try to keep our minds open. We know all the challenges, it's by the book, budget, targeting and all that. But then I'm not saying that, go to YouTube. I saw some notes like go to YouTube and then the agency said that, okay, everyone should watch the video. No, not to that direction. But I think let's try YouTube, let's try KOLs, let's try this, let's try that, start with small amount of money and see where you can get the traction the most, then keeps flowing the money to that particular channel.
Yeah,
that
absolutely agree with you, because personally, I do agree that we need to keep doing A/B testing so that we can able to understand our audience, which platform are the right one for us. And also let me try to address the question from Karen here. Since we are talking about customer persona, what are the tools, that are able to help to research on, to understand more on the customer persona? Maybe Weng, you want to go first?
Yep, like I mentioned just now, there are a plethora of tools available online, whether it's free, whether it's paid. Like for us, I tend to like to go back to the basics. So anything in online, we can basically leverage on Google's resources. Like I personally prefer Google Analytics. Once it's tied with your website, it can actually tell you a lot of things, not just numbers and all. I think after you look at like the like for example, your customers are coming from which geographic location, what are the age group, what are the gender, what are the affinity levels of your customers, that actually gives you a lot of hypotheses to start with. Should I particularly target this group just because they consist of 30% of my total audience? Then like, okay, now I already know roughly where the majority pool of my customers are, then I should go for it. The other, I think there's also another way that you can actually look at it is through competitors' data. There's also tools out there that helps you to understand better on who your competitors are actually targeting. For example, you have like ComScore, for example, that allows you to see some of the stats of your competitors. Then you can actually do a benchmark against yourself and do a similar approach.
To add on this, right? So basically, quite a very basic stuff that I would like to ask to the audience here. I'm not sure whether you guys have been set up your Google Search Console. Why I'm saying so is when you are having your Google Search Console connected, then from there you can actually know that which kind of keywords people search and getting into your page. I mean, into your website. So from there, right, you can actually understanding what kind of the keywords that actually people search and go into your page. Then from there, you can backward to actually targeting back that keywords that you are having. So in order to allocate more specific, so that keywords probably show you this is the keywords that you can't imagine that at first point, oh, I thought that this keyword is not relevant, but actually it's relevant. So if you give it this kind of like some kind of like insights for you. So if you're not in Search Console yet, so please go and Google it around and have your websites to be connected in. So about the, I keep on seeing that how we can actually identify the right targeting for my online advertisements. So to be honest, if you are just trying to, going to kickstart on this online advertising for your business, but there is no one type of the solution. Oh, this is your audience, go ahead, and this is given to you. Then you just go ahead and bring money, and then you get money from them. No, as per Samantha just mentioned, A/B testings. So you need to like you know how fishermen go to the oceans and then they throw away the net and then they get all the fish and then they filter it out and what kind of fish that you want. And okay, this spot is getting a lot of fishes that I want. So every time probably I will come back to here and to get my fish. So basically you need to like do this kind of thing in 1 round or 2 rounds to actually filter it up in a wide range of the customer target audience first, then see which one actually engage with you and buy from you. And then from that campaign, you only invest more money in to target more this kind of people. So you can't one shot 100, 200, something like that per day to target a single pool of customers. Then you expect the result will come. No, you have to invest quite a numbers in the first round, then slowly filter it out. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me also address Richa's question here. He was asking, normally how long is the period for A/B testing?
Okay, normally if like 2 weeks times, then you can, it depends on how big the audience pool is. Like for example, 1,000 or 2,000 kind of audience, then they are giving to you like more than hundreds, or not just, we are not talking about 1 or 2, you know. The result have to be based on at least more than hundreds, response, or more than at least, if you can get 1,000, then probably it will be best. But if you get only 1 or 2, then you can't use this as a A/B testing result judge.
That's true.
Yep.
Maybe Evan, you have something to add on that?
Yeah, I think there is one particular thing that you should keep in mind on A/B testing. Sometimes a lot of people, including I've worked with a lot of people as well, and sometimes this is like the general rule of thumb when people make mistakes. So it's called A/B test for some reasons, whereas you have to have only one different parameter. If you have like more than 2, more than 3 different parameters for your test, it's not going to be A/B testing. It's going to be A, B, C, D testing. And then you might not know. I don't want to look down on A/B test. Sometimes people think that A/B test doesn't work. Well, it's not working, not that it's not working, but then maybe the parameter that we put is wrong. For example, if we want to test the audience, let's just focus on the differentiation of the audience. Let's not try to do anything differently. Sometimes the A/B test comes from different audience. A different audience, and then different visuals, different segmentation, then it's not A/B test, it's ABC testing, right? I think that's the general rule of thumb.
Yeah, right. If let's say if your business goal is to create awareness, right? What should be the social media goals in terms of KPIs?
I'm not a big fan of saying that awareness is one of the goals, in my opinion. If the company, I'm not telling you that you're doing a mistake or something. No, but let's say you're an FMCG. Of course, you're trying to get the awareness, but then I think most of us are doing like a startup, or we're selling things, we're selling goods, right? Hence, why awareness? I mean, awareness is one thing, but then by the end of the day, what pays the big bucks, what pays the rent and all that is the conversion, right? So,
True.
but if I need to keep my answer to the awareness, I think it depends on the platform. Let's say on Facebook, for me, awareness in Facebook is quite saturated, because what we will see is definitely something like reach, impression, and then TikTok. Well, TikTok's algorithm for one, it's a bit. I don't even know. I've spoken with a lot of guys from TikTok. They don't even know how they built their own algorithm. So is it the few? But then few doesn't guarantee that your brand has the awareness, because a few has its own logic, right? So I think in terms of if you really want to do awareness, I think you need more money than if you want to do conversion. No, I'm not saying things wrong. I'm saying the right thing. So that yeah, if you really want to get the awareness, just look at the reach and impression. But I don't think you should do that in the long run.
What about those small businesses that has limited funds, but they want to try doing A/B testing?
Exactly. Then why do awareness? So let me put in this way. I think someone also asked the B2 how to do B2B, right? I think you need to know the nature of the business. Let's say B2B. B2B is really directed from leads. So, and then the best thing that you can get leads is by doing online ads, but then you need to have someone who can connect with those leads. So for me, maybe the way I speak is a bit broad, because I'm talking about funnel, right? So marketing is one thing, but then how you can try to convert those, coming from marketing funnel is another thing. And that's what pays the salary, that's what pays everything. So if you have limited fund, you need to know where you are. You need to know, let's say you a B2B business, you need to know that you have to get leads instead of awareness. Then focus on finding leads. And then what you need to focus as well is after you get the leads, what do you do with those leads? And then if you are, let's say you're selling things to marketplaces. So let's try to maximize those ads in marketplaces instead of doing social media campaign or social media followers, boost posts. No, let's try to focus on the platform. If you're selling things on your website, then try to look at what kind of product that you are in. Maybe you're just pushing. The thing is, don't push your brand. Push your product if you have limited budget, because branding is built over time, while conversion cannot wait for the time to come.
That's true. That's true. And Chester is asking about targeting. So once we have defined the right platform by focus on our services and product, then the targeting, naturally we will understand how should we target to which audience. Like Chester is asking whether, like below 20 years old, 20 to 30 years old, 30 to 40 years old.
Yeah, exactly. I think let's say Facebook. I think we can debate all day who are still using Facebook. For once, I don't have Instagram account, and I think I'm not older than 40. I'm not on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. But am I active on Facebook? No, I'm on Facebook for the sake of I have a lot of fan pages, right? But that's the beauty of marketing, right? By the book, TikTok can give you the demographic, Instagram can give you the demographic, but then what you need to know is not the demographic. What you need to know is the behavior. Let's say someone, Elaine is asking like LinkedIn ads is expensive and there's fatigue already.
Yep.
Yes, but again, why do you do LinkedIn? What kind of B2B that do LinkedIn? So not even for B2B perspective, not all B2B should go to LinkedIn, right? Because LinkedIn is really niche in a good way, in my opinion. That's why it's expensive. Yeah, I mean, you pay peanuts, you get monkey, something like that. So, so you need to know where you need to be able to, map your audience, how their behavior is all about, things like that. And please don't go to branding if you have a small amount of money to burn. Just push your product, sell.
Right. Coming over back to Weng, I'm quite curious on, is it like addressing to Karen's question here as well? Is it possible to get awareness and engagement by only doing organic posts? What do you think, Weng?
I would agree to that, because at the end of the day, a lot of things that you do, eventually you would see results. It's just that whether you're actually satisfied with the results, the amount of audience that you're reaching to. I mean, it's always like a snowball effect where the more you do, you tend to probably get back more results in return. But with that being said, you need to define your content strategy as well, in terms of like what kind of organic posts that you want to do, what kind of audience that you want to reach out as well. Like, for example, take the actual situation. That's what happening with us in the company is we started doing less paid advertising due to cost control, especially during the pandemic time. So we start to explore what else we haven't have done before when it comes to unpaid strategies. Should we ramp up our posting frequency? Should we start exploring different content angles to market our product and services? Then you start to see there's actually a lot more to it when it comes to just doing unpaid strategies. For example, start reaching out to different communities on social media, get their help. Just tell them, we want to work together with you. Can we have this affiliate program going on with you guys? Then from there, you start to be able to do more and more different kind of advertising strategy to reach out to different pool of audience.
Okay, what do you think is like is the secret for successful campaign or the project that every marketer should work on?
That's
is it like teamwork behind the product or services, or the clarity of understanding your own services or product?
I think that's a tough question. Of course, when we create a campaign, obviously we need to clearly define what is the objective of the campaign.
Yep.
And what kind of KPI we are expecting from this kind of campaign. Of course, when you're able to meet or even overachieve on your KPI, you feel like, okay, if it's achievable, then we can do better next time. For me, there's not really, I can't really define a really successful campaign when it comes to that. We can say whether the campaign did well or the campaign did not do well.
So it's quite subjective, right? To like really put a judgment on whether it's running well or not.
Yeah, exactly. But I would say at the end of the day, you just need to clearly know what is the objective of the campaign. If you are able to achieve that, then consider job well done, right?
Yeah, maybe Vickson, you have something to add on that?
To judge on the successful campaign, it as per mentioned, we really can't rely on just one single channel. So I saw some of the chat talk about the KOL and affiliates as well. So that is considered for me as a part of the online advertising as well, which is you pay towards the affiliates referral. Means that they refer customers to you and then they get paid. And then that is part of your expenses to pay them as well. So of course, towards KOL also one of the part of it, which is you get someone to actually to, for example, use a product and then try to promote indirectly or seamlessly. So you pay them, I mean, on that kind of a review. So that consider also another online advertisement. So on that part, this is two things here. Affiliates, they refer to you and then they get paid. Okay, very, very straightforward. You get paid, and then because they refer one sign up, okay, then this is considered successful. How many of them are okay? For example, this affiliate daily can refer 10 products to you. So for you, you think of like, oh, this is a very good affiliate among all, because others is just only like 1 or even 0. Okay, this is considered as very good. But KOL, it quite depends, you know. Your KOL sometimes they are normally on YouTube, for example. So they are actually use your product, but not means that they will directly bring in the sales or the conversions to you. But indirectly, probably 2 or 3 months after, people that are interested on this KOL, they might think about your product, because I know that this KOL has been using your product before.
True.
And I'm trying to want to buy it, and I think about you. Then that's time it's considered as another conversion made, but that is a 2 or 3 months ago when you're seeing that KOL.
Right.
So that is somehow that the strategy is that you have to put it on. So it's a different kind of way to judge. And for me, it's consider if that's the relevancy is high, then consider it's very successful campaign.
Yeah, I think we need to set our expectation right also. We need to say, like, if you are looking for KOL, if you're using KOL marketing, don't expect, like, you know, the leads like be coming immediately after the campaign, but just give it some time, maybe a week or 2, then the leads and sales will come eventually. And also let me take this question from Lee Wei. He or she was asking if there is any network marketing that our panel can introduce him to join.
From my side, I don't think so.
What about Weng or even?
Depending on what kind of businesses that you're operating in or what kind of product services that you're trying to market, I think what would be beneficial is to build and leverage on the network from other businesses. I think I see a lot of this business group that is actually around in Malaysia. There's like what Samantha is with as well, GBG. I think all this, you have different people from different businesses coming into the group together to share resources, to share what they are doing, and then you find synergies with each other. Then maybe from there, you can explore on a potential collaboration, a partnership that actually makes sense for both parties. Then there you have it. You have a marketing campaign to run together to tap into your different audiences from your pool respectively. Yeah.
Okay. Anything you want to add on, Ivan?
No, I guess because for me, at the moment I'm taking care of Indonesian market, and I think it depends on the characters of the market itself, right? So I don't think so.
Yeah, okay. Regine is asking here, right? What are the best practices to run multilingual ads, especially, you know, in multiracial in Malaysia? Maybe before that, Ivan, you can share with us on how you would run your ads in Indonesia itself. Do you use, like, you know, solely like English, or do you use Bahasa Indonesia?
I think this is the $1 million question for the markets that don't have English as their native language. Right? I mean, in Indonesia, it's not about multiracial. I mean, in Malaysia and Indonesia are quite similar, but then I think the way we operate is also quite similar. Even though we're not coming from, I think let's put aside the multiracial. I mean, for me, I'm just gonna put it bluntly, you know, on the spot, on the table. We want to be perceived as cool, right? And then somehow, like, I don't know who comes up with this stupid logic, but English equals cool instead of, you know, Malay equals cool or Bahasa equals cool. I don't know who the hell comes up with this thing. But then I think in Indonesia we also face the similar the similar stuff, meaning that, let's say in social media, do we need to speak in Bahasa? Do we need to speak in English? Do we need to create the caption in Bahasa, or do we need to create the caption in English? I think there's no, for me, I don't have any answer to that. But one thing that I just want to highlight, you need to put yourself in the customer's perspective. And for me, my general rule of thumb is only one. I never consider, no offense, please, no offense, what I'm about to say. I always consider that my target audience is not smart. I'm not saying stupid, I'm saying not smart, meaning that I need to be able to cater any kind of the message so that it can go through the audience. So everyone that is exposed by my ads, by my social media posts, they can get the sense. So I think the question is like, what kind of brands that you want to be correlated with? I mean, I do understand that there are some brands that they speak everything in English because they just want to be perceived as like Western brand, something like that. But well, if that brings your brand to another level, then so be it. There's nothing wrong with that. But then if you target those people, you know, like says BC, and then you know those commoners people, of course, don't speak in English, I think. So yeah, I know it's vague, but I think that's my answer.
Yeah,
in terms of the multi-language to add on, right? If some of you are already running Facebook ads, so probably Facebook ads is one of the platform that allow you to actually put in multi-languages.
Yeah.
So you can choose I believe out of 40 over something languages that you can put in, and you can also select it by based on your language. I mean, if you put like 2 language, then you input that 2 language in that field, then Facebook will automatically show this the right language to that particular persons if they, I mean, based on their Facebook switch. If, for example, like I'm having my Facebook on English and my wife on Chinese, so basically we can serve them two in the same banners, but 2 different copies of the contents. So my wife will see the Chinese content and me will see the English contents. Yeah, that can be done in through Facebook sites.
Okay, adding to that, right, addressing to Hui Wong's question, he was asking if there is, because he is saying that content rule for ads, it's quite confusing. You know, the moment that we got our ads approved, then the second later it got rejected again. Maybe Vickson, you have something to, you know, to share with our audience and Hui Wong here, how to really make an effective ads so that it can get approved easily.
That definitely try, because of what, you know, Facebook sometimes it will be based on the robots, based on their algorithm to actually
algorithm, yes.
So we as long as we need to fulfill their requirements, then probably that we can bypass this. But somehow we are facing some of the numbers that we need to find their, I mean, to keep on to review, to help them to go through. It doesn't how to say, it based on the experiences, it's judged by the format that using and set by Facebook to follow at least the basics one, and then probably you can actually to reduce this issue lah. But of course to fulfill the rules somehow, like no sex, no
gambling,
alcohol,
drinking,
kind of
alcohol, yeah.
Yes, even Google also same things. They are not allowing you to do that, so probably you have to skip that. But unfortunately, if you are in this business, then probably you need to find another way around to actually do that. Yeah. Okay.
I think Vickson has also just addressed Ken's question, which he asked on social media algorithm. So yes.
Yeah, probably that one is just you can Google or Facebook to get it. So in Facebook, they I mean, you just Google around and find about the algorithm of Facebook ads, then it will show you a lot of the even bloggers also, they are sharing that about how we can actually do that. And yeah, just Google around, then you can get a lot of answers.
Okay, let me have a look at, you know, some of the question here. All right, let's talk about budget, shall we? Like, you know, Alex is asking, right, beside budget, any tips or golden formula that the panel can share on how frequent should the ads be posted in social media?
The ads should be posted.
yeah, how frequent is it? Like if there is a golden formula for them.
Sorry, again, let me see the questions here.
Yeah.
Which one idea?
It's asking about frequency of the ads.
I think the golden rule is only two: budget and result. Right? I mean, no matter how much you spend, but you don't get the ROI or whatever. I mean, it's just a waste of money, right? I think it's a bit straightforward, but I don't know.
I think everybody probably have their own golden rule or even their own formula after a while. I mean, if you are just starting up to learn about how you should optimize your ad posting frequencies, how you should optimize your ad placement and also budget boosting, I think it would there's no exact rule to it because every businesses operate on a different cost optimization strategy. Right?
What about we can provide the guidelines like this way. You allocate 1,000 per month for your marketing ads budgets. Then probably on that 1,000 you split into like 4 weeks. So every single week you spend about 250. Then from there, if that 250 is spending well in that particular weeks, then probably you can like invest more on that particular weeks, then spend more on that. But you still keep yourself 1,000 per month. But if let's say, for example, that 1,000 per month actually can generate you a very good ROS, you get a very good return, then you won't come back and tell me that, hey, Vickson, I spending good, shall I add budgets? So basically the answer definitely is yes, right? So on that time, you spend 1,000 and you get a lot of, a good ROS, then probably you started to put in more like 2,000, 3,000 and to let the ads spreading more, even people and get more conversions to use until the ads is like slowing down and not seeing a very good perform. Probably you have max up and targeting the whole audience, then probably you have to turn around to another campaign and kickstart another new campaign again. But in the same time, probably like not just like running only one campaign, but in the same time you can running like two or three types of the campaigns. Then from there you just filter it out one by one.
Right. All right. To wrap up this 1 hour session, right? Let us take another one last question. GD is asking here if they should like focus on just one channel in the early stage of their business, which is limited, such as like, like Google My Business or WhatsApp. What's your take on this? Do they like, to begin with, do they like focus on one platform first before they, look at more different platforms?
I would probably prefer to start off with a few rather than to just focus with one first.
Okay.
I mean, maybe due to time constraint, and also you can basically speed up your marketing learning and also to optimize the performance with just picking a few to try out with. So at the end of the day, you have these results to compare actually which platform performed better, which platform reached the right audience. So with that being said as well, I would also probably go with some unpaid strategies in the beginning. For example, doing organic posting, working out with partnerships, doing more content to reach out to the audience. Then that's where you start to understand what content work well. Then you proceed with the next step to boost those contents to reach out to a wider audience pool.
Yeah, right. Even if you like for Google, right, you can even use Google My Business, which is a free tools for you to reach out to more audience. Great. Anything else that our panel would like to add on before we wrap up our session for today?
Okay, so one thing that I would like to actually highlight here is for digital marketing. So don't do something digital marketing in a small number like 1 or 10 results. So digital marketing is towards quite wide in everyone, especially like when we're targeting in Malaysia. So not to say Indonesia's lah. So even Indonesia is even much more bigger. So if you are aiming for just like I allocate 1,000 and expect to get 10 results, then probably your marketing consider as will fail definitely, because your goal that set to yourself in mind is too low. So you have to probably like 1,000, then you expect more than hundreds kind of a result that you can take. So that probably like making you to do much more wider and make more actual returns instead of like because we are not doing sales like a one-to-one. One customer come into a shop and then I convince him to buy your product, then consider as 100%. But marketing is different things, that you drive 1,000 of people to your shops and you expect the only one customers to buy from you? No, right? So definitely you have to like at least aiming 10% of them, or actually 20% of them. So aim for the conversion rate that more than 10%, then you will see the results. Yep.
Right. Any last word from Weng and also Ivan today?
I think I just want to make a conclusion from what I see with online advertising is I think nowadays most marketers will agree that it's virtually impossible for us to escape the duopoly of Facebook and Google, because eventually worldwide audience, they're spending so much time with these platforms, and to market to them, we have to incorporate them into our marketing strategy when it comes to online advertising. But don't forget or neglect on the other strategies as well that actually would be able to complement whatever that you're doing with these two platforms, and to enhance your presence and enhance your objective to reach these objectives faster or even at a better result. Yeah.
Ivan, you have anything to add on that?
No, I think the two of these gentlemen have taken everything. But yes, I think don't go out there spending a bunch of money. Try to spend on unpaid level. Unpaid needs effort, needs time, but it's worth it. Trust me. So yeah.
Okay, my last question for three of you gentlemen right here. How can our audience keep in touch with you after this session?
Okay, I thought it's about marketing. For me, I mean, I'm up in LinkedIn, and I think if I don't mind sharing my email. I think I can drop my email later on to Samantha and
Sure.
up to Exabytes, how you want to skew it. But I think LinkedIn is the best way, in my opinion.
Right.
Yeah, I just pasted my LinkedIn URL in the chat, and probably you guys can connect me through my LinkedIn.
Yeah, Weng as well, through LinkedIn as well?
Yes, same here.
Okay.
So I'll be posting my link up there as well.
Right, great.
Do you have still 1 minute for me to actually explain further on the cross-border, like Singapore and Indonesia, since Exabytes is having there? So to share about the quick experience on, I see one of the questions is about the how to understand Singapore or Indonesia's kind of markets. So while actually Exabytes is expanding to those countries, right? So we have to put locals there. So for example, like in Indonesia, at first point of view, we use Bahasa Malaysia to target Indonesia. That is a very, very solid experience that I would like to share. And that Bahasa Malaysia in Indonesia is totally failed. So we can't really know that actually their Bahasa is different. So until we hire a local there and we expand our business in Indonesia, then we use the local Bahasa, the Indonesian Bahasa to actually run our ads. Then it will come out a good result because that is more localized. Okay, so same towards like, for example, we discussed before about the payment. So we expect that Indonesians, they are good in credit cards, they pay in credit cards, but in exactly, they are not, they are more towards e-wallets, and they are more prefer bank transfer. So if you have no locals there, you can't understand these cultures that are happening there.
That is true.
Yeah, you keep on running. You can only pay us with credit cards. Then definitely you will fail because you can't get any sign up because they're not using credit cards in the most. Yeah, that is
Okay.
somehow you have to be having a local or friends there to telling you the cultures.
Absolutely agree with you. All right, great. Thank you so much for all the active participation from all our audience today. And it was such a good panel discussion with three of our gentlemen here today. Over to you, Lauren.
Thank you.
Thank you, Samantha. And of course, it was a wonderful panel discussion, also because of our moderator, you guys. Let's give it up for Samantha, Vickson, Evan, and Weng. Let's give them a virtual round of applause. Thank you so much, Samantha. Oh, it's job well done as usual. Wonderful, wonderful. I think the audience can definitely appreciate all the honest input that you've brought to the table today. So I hope to see you guys real soon. Take care and stay safe. And feel free to join us for the rest of the morning here with us here at our event. So thank you so much. I'll see you guys soon.
Thank you.
Bye.
Exabytes. Grow your business online.